there, Gemini. I am now doing your reading. As you can see, I've got a slightly different format from some of you who might have been following me already. If you're new here, welcome. I know I've had some new subscribers and I most appreciate you subscribing. Thank you so much for being here. The other thing I want to say is this is going to be a faceless reading due to the fact that I'm in between things myself. And this is the only way that I'm able to set up the cameras and do the reading at this time. And this is totally fine. So without further ado, let's have a look, Geminis, what the energy currently holds for you. I've got 3 different decks I'm opening the reading with, doing the spread with, opening with the Wisdom of the Oracle card. Now, Gemini, I wonder if you've experienced something that you have felt was rather unfair, okay? I feel for some of you there has been definitely something that's come out of the blue that could have possibly shaken your foundation, if you like. And perhaps now you're trying to figure out which way to go and which way to handle things. Some of you could have been coming out of a situation to do with that, and some of you actually are just going through it literally as this message is being heard. Now, wherever you are on the spectrum, of course, this is for all placements of Geminis, and if you're North Node Gemini, I recommend seeing it. Now, some of you, I think, have taken a chance somehow, and perhaps found that also that some things have not come out as you'd rather hoped for, and this is now a time for you to actually rebalance and take stock of perhaps maybe what you need to do. I feel with the Geminis as well, you really need to get centered, because there is something that wants to come through, and it could be a very fated meeting, okay? I feel like some of you also, if it's not a fated meeting, there could be something where the fates are playing a hand in taking you into a situation that's much more reasonable, much more less flighty possibly, okay, and I think much more grounded. Use the wisdom that you've gained over the years. This has been a time now, we've all been through the mill, and I feel that somehow that this is an opportunity to use the accumulated wisdom that you might have reached within yourself, okay? This is a number 38 as well, which also comes up to 11. So this is another master number. So this is about mastering yourself, coming to a place maybe you think, okay, well, you know what? I've learned this lesson and now I need to go do this, this and that, because that's what I've learned. Okay, so this is about now not keep on going back and forth to the same lessons and the same crap, if you like, but actually honoring what you know to be true and standing tall and really ensuring that you're aware of what you need to do. Interestingly, the next card here also is quite nice lead here, is the card of realization. Now, it was upside down, but I don't read these particular Queen of the Moon Oracle card. And if you'd see, there's a massive key, an aperture of a key, what you call a keyhole. All right, and she's standing there wondering. She can't see her way because we've got this sort of sparkling dust around her. But this is a time for you to, like I sort of said, standing tall and really seeing where it is that you need to go. I feel like some of you need to take stock, particularly at this time, okay, and slow it right down and allow yourself to be able to view whatever situations happened from a perspective of taking that distance. Okay, this is only going to, of course, speak to some of you, but I do want to sort of say that you will get the clarity that you need, Geminis, and there's going to be some kind of realization that perhaps some of the patterns that you've been playing out now is becoming very apparent. All right. And I feel like some of you also need to, are finding that there's certain things that you need to balance. Maybe certain things have been out of harmony for you. Perhaps you've been going out too much. Perhaps you've been drinking too much. Perhaps you've been, overextending yourself too much as well. And now it's about balancing out your efforts, okay? For those who maybe find that you've been really sort of slow in your approach, and feeling sluggish, this is a really important time again for you to really start feeling and thinking, where is it I need to put my energy and how do I need to go about it? So there's some very important questions for you, some of you, to be asking yourself. In the meantime, it is really important to get on with the business of doing certain things, that your day-to-day stuff as well. And I feel also with this time and the energy, it is a really good time for you, Geminis, to get your sort of sense of well-being and your body and your sense of beauty in order. Okay, it's really important that you start looking at how you're eating. For some of you, I'm picking up, perhaps some of you have been sort of nosediving into some really terrible habits, perhaps eating too much sugar, or maybe there's been some nervous energy where you've not been able to sort of have a handle on, which has meant that you've actually been neglecting certain aspects of your mind, body and spirit. But in order for us to sort of grow and get a direction of where we want to go as well, and to get that clarity, really important, it's again very important that you actually sort of do the work that you need to do in order to balance and rebalance whatever has gone out of shape. Okay, like I said, do look out for certain things that could be wanting to come in. Listen to certain messages. This is for some of you as well, Gemini, and I think there's something that is going to be standing out more than others, and you possibly could be considering other options, but I want you to pay attention to what really is coming to the fore and where you really feel that you would really like to take on. Okay, this could be related to a relationship. Again, it's going to be different for all of you. And if you want a private reading at this time, I have got some slots available at the moment. And I'm more than happy to do any further readings and clarifications for anybody who'd like a reading. And you find my details below in the description box through my website. The final card I have here that's on the table already is this card of travel. Now, this could be a physical travel for some of you. All right, so some of you have been maybe wanting to go traveling. Some of you maybe need to travel, and I feel like in some way this also involves some news. Again, perhaps a bit like the Aquarians, some unexpected news. Okay, something that's going to take you further along your personal journey. I'm picking up as well. Also, the other thing I feel as we are coming out of Mercury retrograde, I feel that there is a possibility and a potential for things to get clearer and get a better sight for perhaps maybe what you want to do. That something that was not very clear to you could be more become apparent as well for some of you guys here. All right, some of you can get the inspiration to do some healing work, I feel as well, and maybe getting on maybe doing some healing work, or maybe even doing some online courses. All right, that I'm picking up here through this card. Okay, it's not going to speak to everyone, but do pay attention. And speaking of paying attention as well, I just want you to sort of say that some of you might actually be hearing something from an external source. It could be a speaker, it could be a coach or a mentor. It could also be something that comes at you from a distance. Okay, so it could be some communication that's coming in that is going to have a massive trajectory of a possible new opening for some Geminis here as well. Okay, so I'm holding these two cards up because for some reason I'm linking those two cards up suddenly with the possibility of a new message that's going to open up a doorway and open up a new opportunity. Okay, it's really important that you look at the details, the finer details, and see if there is a link to how perhaps maybe what you've wanted to work, how you've wanted to work, and maybe where it can take you. So do not rule anything out, particularly if something comes out of the blue for you guys as well. And I say this because Aquarians had a similar sort of message, and you're both air signs as well. All right, so maybe you want to watch Aquarians, so maybe for an in-depth reading, or if you've got a lot of an Aquarian placement, there might be a message for you there with the Geminis, by the way. The other thing I want to say about this card as well, I'm feeling that you are going to be, you are being guided, you're being supported for sure. And I really feel for some of you, there's going to be an opportunity that you didn't see. Again, that's going to take you to greater heights. Okay. Some of you might want to start an online business. I've already said that. Or you might do an online course, okay, to really improve your skill sets. All right. Something that I feel that some of you are getting some messages about, maybe sharing a talent or a skill that you have a sudden desire during the sort of summer months, or last few weeks. You've been noticing there's been some other interest for some of you as well, or maybe some other opportunities that you've had on the sideline that's now kind of creeping in and making itself known. This is not going to speak to anybody, or not anybody, everybody, sorry, but I think it's really important that you really check in with that. Okay, some of you really want to claim your power as well. I feel just make sure that you are clear in what is going to try not to deflect possibly what could be coming in for you guys. Okay, I do feel that there is some male figure possibly for some of you as well, that plays a massive part. It could be a message from a parent, a father, or maybe something you thought about doing, or it could be even the fact that you've suddenly become a father for somebody that, oops, that's way too many cards, that you might want to actually find that you're actually having to restructure your life in some way and schedule things differently. It is to do with a male figure though, so some of you could actually have somebody, a male figure coming in. It could be your boss, it could be a new partnership, but it is going to involve making a change in your environment or even in your working place. Okay, it could be some kind of environment. So of course your environment is not necessarily your workplace alone, but I will say that it could be something that you are thinking of perhaps moving away from. Okay, this is only going to speak to some of you. Do check your rising and your moon sign, but I personally like to sort of recommend checking your north node. All right, if you go to certain astrology sites, find out where your north node is. That's your soul evolution. So I personally feel that when you listen to the node readings, that has a very profound message, sometimes more than your other placings, to do with your more what you call it, the closer planets. All right, I'm just going to choose one card here. Okay, just we're going to do a tarot card here. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. Wonderful. Okay, it's also on the bright side here, Gemini. So I feel that something that this is what I'm saying earlier, that you're going to realize maybe your talents. If you look at here, she's got 9 coins. Okay, there is something that's going to yield the reward of your hard work, or possibly you're going to definitely feel quite happy about the different options you've got, and perhaps a multitude of options, or even I would say a multitude of talents and skill sets that you can actually somehow combine suddenly, and it's going to make you feel quite enriched. All right, again, do pay attention to any messages. I keep on getting this, a message that could be coming in that you're not expecting. Okay, listen out to any messages in your quieter moments, for some of you Geminis, or even a message that comes through some other more literal communication. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a dove arriving in her hand there. So doves always signify something to do with peace, of course, but also a message. There were once upon a time messengers. They were sent telegrams or little notes, clasped in a little clasp on their, sort of little legs, and were sent. So I will feel that you are definitely going to get some message for yourselves. For some of you as well, this is going to be something quite new, and something again unexpected, but this is going to propel you guys forward. So again, just pay attention to, there is an opening coming in for you Geminis here. Okay, I'm not quite used to this camera, so I'm doing my best to sort of be as visual for yourselves. Okay, do, like I said, get on with certain things that you can do, but some of you are going to be pushed over an uncomfortable, maybe you're feeling as not comfortable. This is about coming out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm trying to say. And maybe even some of you have been in a situation where you've not known which path to take, but it is becoming apparent now where you need to go. Okay, and I keep on going to this because this is such a huge opening, and perhaps a new opportunity, and it's going to take you out of a very sort of what could be quite a dark era, a time where you felt really stagnated, you couldn't see your way out. But some of you will definitely be able to see things clearly, and you'll be getting the clarity that you need. All right, I feel like I want to just give you guys another bonus card from this one, Gemini, so let's have a look. Okay, Aquarians did get 2 cards because it just came out that way, as with the life purpose card. I'm not going to take those. I'm going to take the one that's sticking in my hand. Okay, here we are again, balance. So you've got 2 cards that really portray a sense of balance. I feel like some of you, I think that you've walked in the dark quite long, that you've lost your pace. And we've got 2 cards and they're almost identical. All right, they're both about cards of balance. Okay, this is, although it says to be fair, it's very much about balancing. Okay, what needs to go, what needs to come, what needs to be released, what needs to be drawn in. Where do you need to let go of some maybe sugary foods? Too much this, too much that, needs to be balanced. Okay, really, really important, as with this card. whatever it is as well, if you see that she's wearing, this is about, it almost reminds me of the card of discernment. Okay, that you've got maybe some options, maybe too many options, a bit like the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this one also is a bit card of independence here. Perhaps you are actually felt closed in and you weren't able to move forward with your ideas, and now that's sort of taking stock, because the overall card tarot for yourselves here is the Nine of Coins. But I feel like somehow, you know, if you tune into your center, Geminis, make sure that you're coming from a powerful place, even if you can't see where you are. The other thing I want to sort of say, some of you have been through quite a difficult cycle, and perhaps thought, is this ever going to end? But just know that there is definitely something new wanting to come in that is going to be significant. All right, because of course, what's crowning this card, the balance card, really is this card here. So I would say, Geminis, there's a little extra card here. Make sure that you're really clear and getting the right interior message as well about how you want to move forward in your life, as well as, if you're not sure, just stay in yourself to be grounded, stay empowered, and trust where you feel that you're being led. Okay, but the fates will show you. I really feel that you're going to be fated in some way. There's going to be some significant direction that you're going to be given, even with this travel card here as well, because this is, you know, it could be a literal travel, but also it means that there's some kind of energy pulling you forward. Okay, your life purpose, it says it involves traveling. I think it's about moving forward, though. You are going to be given the okay, all right, after a time of not knowing. And those who perhaps much more adept to surrendering things as well. Okay, I feel like there's not much movement towards the sort of latter part of the month. We're still in mid-September when I'm recording this. Okay, this is towards the new moon in Virgo, but these readings will have at least an energy for at least a month. And those who are finding this, whenever it is, it still correlates that from the time of your reading, it'll be a few weeks on. Okay, so you will be moving forward for sure. Okay, you'll be seeing some action, some possibilities, some offers. Some are being more clearer than others. Some are going to be much more important than others. But if you surrender and trust and stay grounded, I will find that you will able to really sort of find the direction that you need to go to. But just trust it. Keep on looking towards the light. Okay, very important. And that could be your interior light as well, Geminis. All right, Geminis, I'm going to love you and leave you here. Thank you for listening. I do hope that you've got something from these readings. I am keeping them a bit shorter than usual. I'm not doing the chakras today, but again, if you want to concentrate on the chakras, then think about your solar plexus, as my eyes have gone to that. And there's nothing more powerful than being empowered and coming from a centered place. Okay, and I think this just goes across the board. Coming from that place, you will able to be standing strong, firmly, and really balanced. And if you, in fact, you've got three figures here, okay, that really dominantly are standing. Okay, and so this is really a time for you to be centered in yourself, so you can find the harmony in possibly some of the juxtaposition or the duality or the uncertainty that some of you could be also experiencing. And at best, if you don't know which way to go, just ask to be guided. Surrender yourself to the purity of yourself as well, and just get on with the business of daily life without overthinking as well. Geminis, you are so good at overthinking, okay? And there's two of you running you, you know, so you've got this mental chatter constantly, and it's almost there's a duality as well, which also doesn't make it very easy for Gemini sometimes, because you can have, like I said, two of you running you, sort of the Jekyll and Hyde, or the kind of black and white, or the kind of that sort of juxtaposition. So stay centered. Coming from the center, you will definitely be guided and be shown which way, and certainly able to hear the messages that are wanting to come through. All right, do leave me a comment if you feel that this has resonated. I thank you again for joining me today, and I will catch you in my next video. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye.